Ladies and gentlemen, this is The Burning Truth. We are live. We're a bit late. Not my fault.
Because someone decided opening packs was more important than doing an episode.
Yes, Nathan, we know it's you.
Yes, the person who hasn't bought the game yet. Obviously, it's the person who hasn't bought the game yet, but has to save you from being defeated on a difficulty
I have no idea what you're on about.
that isn't as high as Legendary, but isn't as low as Semi-Pro. I'll leave you to guess what difficulty it was, but I had to bail him out.
I have no idea what you're on about. Anyway.
You know, because the so-called gamer doesn't game at high level, folks.
I do game at a high level.
I
I do game at a high level. Still beat your ass. Still beat your ass. Anyway. Ladies and gentlemen, this is The Burning Truth. Across from me is...
I'm a man on a mission.
No. We're doing this right. He is the man, the myth, the legend. Nathan Goff.
No, across from me is the comical, the lazy, the sometimes on time when it's 20 minutes late. But we all know him, we all love him. It's the pimp's old brother. The smack my bitch up when I'm rocking out in the club. Kanye West's favourite drinking partner.
Whoa. Don't you even go
Matt, the bad boy, Burns.
Why are you trying to associate me with Kanye West? What, you think I'm just going to start singing, "She take my money"?
And power.
No.
Did you want all that power?
No.
It's all about the money, yeah.
No.
I've seen
No.
you sell merch.
No.
Yeah.
No.
It's by any means necessary.
That's you.
No, it's sell my merch or otherwise I'm not taking you back.
That's bold.
Blackmails me.
I never blackmailed you once.
Blackmails me into selling this merch.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
All them people that didn't want to kill Big Bird round the neck.
Big Bird was never even harmed, not touched, and it's still part of Sesame Street.
So,
Let's get down to actual business, shall we?
business?
Yes. That we call, the business.
The business.
The business.
The business.
The business.
Are you sure it isn't too sweet?
That was Nathan Goff, not The Burning Truth, nor is
Too
it.
Sweet has not been copyrighted. It is the gesture and the...
Gosh chop.
Yeah.
You just couldn't... Hang on. You can say anything in the world, but you can't say crotch chop.
Well, what do you call that?
Yeah. You're doing hand gesturing for a broadcast.
Well,
Great for radio, this is.
yeah, well, it's for more your purposes. Like, do you call that like a crotch chop, or is it like a crotch gesture?
Have you been doing commentating with anybody by the name of Tatsu? Or Yoshi?
I feel like I do commentating with Yushi Tatsu every time we go to FCW.
That's bold, because I actually do a good job.
The bloke that don't know the difference between a death blow and a death lock.
I know the difference between a death blow and a elbow.
Well,
Rolling elbow, in
Charles
fact.
Kelsey would like to disagree with you.
Charles Kelsey can disagree all he wants until he pins me. 1, 2, 3 to the mat. He can argue all day.
The man calls it a death blow. And that's
Yeah. If it was such a death blow, why am I still alive?
He took pity on you, mate.
So what? He went from death blow to cushion blow.
Yeah, he enjoyed watching you bounce so high.
Bounce so high.
I'm a tree. I jumped so high, matey.
Leave him out of it.
I jumped so high.
Anyway,
I got so much air.
calm down there, Jordan. Anyway, let's get back to the actual wrestling business. What we're actually here for. We need to talk about a pay-per-view.
We don't need to talk about pay-per-view yet. We need to talk about the Young Bucks. And their cease and assist after they poked the bear on Monday night. So,
Whatever you do.
quick catch-up. So, since 2013, the Young Bucks have been using the Too Sweet hand gesture from the NWO, which they've had permission from the NWO members,
Yep.
but it seems that WWE put in a copyright in 2015,
2015.
and then on Monday, the Young Bucks thought it'd be a really good idea to go poke the biggest corporation in the world. You know, Sleeping Giants, you know, it has a big fuck-off sign on it at the moment that says, "Do not provoke."
Do not provoke under any means necessary.
Do not provoke, or otherwise might wake up angry and actually put good content out.
And maybe maul you.
Yeah, so the Young Bucks ignored the "Do not poke" sign, went straight through the front door and went,
Too sweet!
and woke up the next day to a cease and desist.
Whoops.
You poke the bear pokes back.
Yeah. And if I'm not mistaken, they've actually asked for a letter of confirmation that they are going to cease and desist on doing any further WWE copyrighted material. Otherwise, be fined.
$150,000
And more. And possibly more.
Now, they might get paid quite well on the independent scene. I don't think they get paid $150,000.
Oh, that's per time they use it.
Yeah.
And for how much they use it, you ain't got that money.
But no, so what's your perception of that? Is it just a case of if they hadn't gone to Raw on Monday, WWE would have just brushed it under the mat?
They might have done. It's just the fact that they tried to go knocking on their door. But do you want to hear more irony about it?
Go on.
Eric Bischoff.
Yeah.
His views on this.
Go on.
Why didn't Vince just let him in? Get them on the show. Make money out of it. Kind of like what happened when Triple H was saying, was saying to Vince McMahon when they were going to invade WCW. If WCW guys to come over to WWE. What did Vince say then? I'll invite them in.
No, Eric said, just invite them in.
Just invite them in.
They didn't invite them in.
No.
They shut down the shutters and...
They shut down the shutters, did a WCW, and kept it on lockdown.
Which is probably the right thing to do, in all fairness.
Possibly.
It's the high road.
It's the high road, but then follows it up with the cease and desist. You got our property. Stop doing it.
But as I say, if you poke...
The bear, there's going to be consequences.
Yeah.
And they've been doing it for quite some... And they've been doing that Too Sweet sign and other things. As we mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
So, yeah. When you're getting made famous by copying other people's material that's copyrighted, don't go poking at them.
So, moving on, while we're on about the Young Bucks. So, is it Starcade?
Starcade, yeah.
Right, is a theme, like a house show?
It's going to be like a special house show, yes.
That might be recorded for the network, it might not be.
Maybe not. It's a bit of nostalgia as well.
So, I know that they've asked Dustin Reynolds to be on the show that night.
Yes.
Now, he said that he would like to tag with Cody to go against the Hardys.
Actually, the actual original thing came about when Cody said to certain people on the higher up, stating, Michael P.S. Hayes stated, "Why not have Goldie on the show? Great idea. Fancy teaming with your brother?" And then Goldust threw in the hat, "Why not make it us against the Hardys?"
Yeah.
And then, if I'm not mistaken, Matt then threw in, "Why don't we invite the club?" And we don't mean Fengy. We do not mean
Gallows
and Anderson. We do actually mean the actual club, potentially also known as the Elite, which, if I'm not mistaken, is the Young Bucks.
Yeah.
However, that's gone into disarray at the moment.
Yes, but...
And do you know why?
Go on.
Somebody's injured. Jeff Hardy. He's actually busted his rotator cuff, so he's actually off shows for quite some time.
Okay.
So he's off.
What's his recovery time?
It's just it's not massively. It's not massive. However, he may just be missing Starrcade.
Okay. But Matt Hardy versus Goldust, especially if WWE require the rights to the broken gimmick by them.
If they have, but even so, it seems like they've already got something lying and waiting. Instead of it being broken, could he be awoken?
The awoken one, Matt Hardy. Awake!
Awake! Awake! That just sounds really confusing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not as good as delete! 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 Please don't so.
So that's that update on there. So while we're on about things that could or could not be put on air, Evolve.
Ooh. I'll let you touch this one.
So Evolve have been having a little bit of a streaming issue.
Yes.
Through WWN.
WWN, which actually is more in connection with Flow Slam.
Yes. About one of the shows. So Gabe Spolatsky.
Yep.
Has been running around trying to sort a deal out and find out where they want it.
Yes. Which, if I'm not mistaken, at the moment, it's actually currently airing it on the WWN, is it WWN network?
.com or something.
.com.
Yeah. But they're having to do it direct through instead of through the Fight Network.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know what's caused the argument. I don't know if it's due to money or...
No, it's not actually the Fight Network, because the Fight Network has actually been losing some business recently, which has been sort of bled dry in regards to the whole...
GFW.
Yeah. Fiasco. Which they still don't know what they're calling it these days. Is it GFW? Is it Impact? Is it TNA? Who the hell knows?
But no, well, they don't even know what they want to do with it.
Yeah, because
the WWN said they've had to put it on their own
network directly.
Yeah, website as such, and then stream it through that way, which is not ideal. But while they're trying to sort a new solution out now, they've got a number of options. Now, what could these options be? Do we think?
Try a different network.
So, what network would you put it on? What network do ICW go through?
ICW has got its own little network. It's also got on the Fight Network.
Yes.
As well. There's also the possibility of the WWE Network, which actually a lot of people don't realise Evolve is actually linked to WWE.
Yes.
As part of its development company series and everything.
Yes. So is Progress.
Yep.
Rev Pro.
Yes.
And ICW.
Yes. Why do I just sound like Daniel Bryan then?
It's dirty as well to mention ICW in development and WWE at the same time. Since a couple of years ago, ICW were like the Antichrist of WWE.
We don't need them! Guess what?
We're going to defend that UK Championship
on our show!
I wonder how many people felt betrayed.
There's a lot of things that have been going on with it. And if I'm not mistaken, Mark Dallas has been getting some hate mail and some pleasant emails as well. But he has been quite frustrated because he is trying to progress it further. And as much as anybody could turn around and say, yes, they were the anti-establishment. Yes, that's what got them in the door. However, they're now getting more known, recognised now. As much as you can say, let's fight against the grain. Let's fight against the grain. If fighting against the grain puts you in the middle of nowhere where you don't know anybody, are you going to keep doing it?
If you've got a chance to sell 7,000 seats by using a couple of WWE names, fuck me, you will use.
You will use them. Basically, if I'm not mistaken, if you can book somebody who puts asses in seats, are you going to do it?
Yeah.
Oh, well, we might be able to just get a wrestler from WWE that's currently contracted. Do you want to see him? Nah, you don't want him, do you?
But no, so that's an interesting thing. So you got Fight Network, WWE Network. Where else could they go?
They can potentially, if they wanted to, set up their own network, potentially. But that would take plenty of time, dedication, and whatnot.
Could they go on to actual cable?
You mean something like the Sinclair broadcast?
Yeah.
Potentially, if Sinclair were interested in it. However, at the moment, we already know that most broadcasts aren't really, at the moment, interested.
No.
As of yet.
What's the best option for them?
As in the best option, Tour de Force, guaranteed to make money?
What'd be, like, his option? If he could snap someone's hand off today, which one would he want?
If you get on the WWE Network.
Now, the biggest problem with the WWE Network deal is trying to sort a price out for what WWE pay for the content. Because once they have the content, that is their content.
That is their content. However, it would then guarantee your show being seen across the globe.
Oh, yeah, but...
But whatever price you are selling it for, it won't go any higher or any lower.
No, and that's a hard thing
to adjust,
try sort out. Like going, how much is this show worth for me not to own it again?
It's not just owning it, it's sort of for it to be broadcast. You would essentially own it yourself, however, you would have to follow network procedure.
So if WWE bought that show, would you be able to sell a DVD of it? Because effectively, it is now WWE's property.
You wouldn't be able to sell a show that's being recorded by WWE. However, you could possibly bargain a deal with separately from WWE to do your own personal house shows. Potentially.
It'll be an interesting couple of months for Evolve to figure out what they do. I reckon they'll go with the Fight Network.
I think they will go with the Fight Network. It's got a good track record. It's got more than one company under it already.
Yeah.
And whatnot, and can actually do quite well.
So I know you've heard of Dickie Bird talking about startups and new things on a certain breakaway promotion.
Would that have anything to do with the famous Five leaving?
Yes.
Right. What Culture? Now, if anybody's ever noticed on What Culture, each of the 5 members have been changing their profile picture on Twitter to what appears to look like a C with a number in the centre. Blonde PA being 5, Pachita being 4, Jack the Jobber or Jack D King or G King 3, and then eventually possibly Sam Driver and King Ross being 2 and 1. Now, the way they're doing it seems to be each week they're changing it. Now, 2 and 1 haven't been picked and decided upon yet, so we don't know yet. So when we get to 0, what's going to happen? Now, a bit of an inside source is, if I'm not mistaken, before anything can be officially really announced, or if you're going to announce a big company organisation, you have to do what?
Register it.
Now, the lads, and I'll quote this on this. I can actually quote this. 4 of the lads have actually registered a company. The only one who wasn't part of the registry is, if I'm not mistaken, is Jack G. King. Some people are saying because he looks like an 8-year-old. Personally, I just think it's because they want sort of only 4 people. They've got a limited space, but that's their business plan going forward. Now, a lot of people are saying, "What's this about? What's it going to be?" Now, I can actually name the potential company. However, this could be potential spoilers. So, if you don't want to hear the name of the company name, please just skip a few minutes ahead. If you don't want to hear the name or anything, it's called Cultureholic Venture Limited.
Now, the interesting bit, which a lot of people won't pick up on, isn't the name of the business. Well, it is the name, but it's the last word. Limited. So what that means for people that aren't solely aware of how limited and non-limited works. So limited business can only lose what's been put into it.
Correct. Which you know more about this than myself. Which I will say, right now, I don't have a business degree, but I know enough to get my head around businesses, but nowhere near your level.
He doesn't have a business degree, he just knows someone who does have a business degree.
Oh, no, I actually do know. I do have some knowledge in business. I do have some knowledge. I don't have a business degree. I'm actually... This is me opting out and saying...
Well, no. Look,
this is your speciality.
The interesting bit is that they've gone limited. So whereas most would go as a sole trader, where it's a bit more risky, but...
high rewards.
Well, it isn't even a high reward. So with it being unlimited, they can only lose what they've put in. So if it goes arse over tit...
or bump,
well,
as some people might say.
But if it goes arse over tit, they can only lose what the initial investment was. Yes, they'll lose if they put any further down, but they won't have to lose like houses or anything like that.
Yeah. Basically...
So it's a safe move.
They're covering their arses.
Yeah.
They're playing it safe. They're playing the smart move. So the only question I will say is, what's next for them? What's going to be the big reveal? Because each week they're saying, join us. Will you be joining them?
What is your hope for that company then?
Me, I would say them to be able to produce, possibly, because I've noticed that certain shows on What Culture have stayed, and some have completely disappeared, if I'm not mistaken. For example, we're not getting any like the What Just Happened.
Yeah.
Potentially, but that could actually pop up eventually.
What can they do that was different from what they've done?
They could potentially introduce new, different content, which that means being creative and whatnot. However, straight away, are they going to be continuing their supposed wrestling angles?
Because is this the equivalent of Top Gear turning into the Grand Tour?
That's what I was just about to say. Could this be that? And if it is, on the first show, are they going to be firing shots?
Yeah.
My advice, don't.
No, like, you want a clean break and you want to be judged on the content that you put out.
Exactly.
And they were just learning to like sit back, which is good.
Yeah.
So I've got hopes, and maybe they didn't have the creative control that they wanted.
Yeah, potentially.
So it'll be interesting. I just hope it isn't like Top Gear Grand Tour syndrome.
Yeah. The biggest thing I think that's a shame at the moment as well is the whole What Culture Pro Wrestling. Now, if I'm not mistaken, the five guys that are involved who have just left were actually most of the main writing team for that.
Yes.
And they just had to completely change the entire storyline because of this event, because of this happening. So, are we going to be seeing less authority figures on there? Or are we going to be seeing someone butting the noses in more?
No, I think you'll see less authority figures on the short term
Yeah,
while they decide what direction they want to now go in.
yeah.
I think you can see someone like a James Arcady become the authority figure.
I can't. I think he's in his nice little niche place right now, on the commentators' table.
I'm calling it James Arcady becomes an authority figure.
I can see Alex Shane.
No.
Well, that's our predictions for the authority figure. What are yours, if you've got any?
So, moving back across the pond,
Hey.
why don't we talk about women coming back to WWE after a 4-year break?
For any examples?
Caitlin had her first training session in the week since retiring 4 years ago. Said she missed it. Now, I'm sorry, how can you miss something if you haven't done it for 4 years? You obviously didn't miss it that fucking much.
Personally, this is either looking like a quit. Oh great, I'm losing money. I'm not as popular as I thought I was. Some might say. Or it could be she is genuinely missing it, but if she has been genuinely missing it, why be gone for 4 years long? What's been holding you back?
If you missed it, would you still train?
Yes.
Would it take you 4 years to get back into training?
No. No.
I'm pretty sure if Nikki Bella wasn't on Dancing with the Stars at the moment, then she would be training.
If I'm not mistaken, she still is.
Well,
She still is training.
yeah, but she's going to be concentrating more.
Yeah, but she has been still training because, if I'm not mistaken, WWE have been very, very internet noticeable because they've been deleting certain videos online. Or do you know about that?
No.
Right, WWE have been going online, deleting certain footage that's been exposed.
Go on then.
That certain Balor's been training with somebody.
What?
Daniel Bryan.
Right.
And because he's taking bumps, WWE don't want to see that. They don't want anybody else seeing that. Now, why wouldn't they want them to see him taking bumps?
Daniel Bryan is a very, very unique case.
It is.
So, if you're Vince McMahon,
Yep.
do you want to be known as the person whose company ruined Bryan Danielson's life?
No.
I totally understand why Vince has said
No.
he will not let him wrestle in a WWE ring again.
Now, I agree with you.
That is Vince's decision.
It is.
For better or for worse, he's got to live with it. Now, Bryan Danielson has come to grips, and there's a reason why I'm using Bryan Danielson,
I know why.
not Daniel Bryan.
Correct.
Now,
Continue.
Bryan Danielson has come to grips with the fact that in a year's time, he is out of his contract.
Yes.
So, can he go and wrestle in Ring of Honor
Yes.
or somewhere like that? Yes. Is it advisable by WWE doctors?
No.
No.
Has it been advised by? Has it been cleared by other outside doctors?
Yes.
Yes. However, the question is what you got to compare the notes of the outside source doctors compared to the WWE doctors as well.
Well, they've done the same test they do for the footballers.
Yes.
So,
Which, to be honest with you, I think WWE doctors may have a bit of an edge because they specialise in
yes.
more so wrestling.
But Daniel Bryan says he's developed a style that is
Safe.
safer than what he was doing.
Hopefully he has. Hopefully he has.
Because did you watch season 1 of Total Ballas?
Yes.
It was coming up to Nicole's last match. Not Nicole, Bree, sorry.
Carry on.
And Nicole took Bryan to the Performance Centre.
Yeah.
And he was running through this whole new style that he'd got which was like a ground and pound grappling style from the UFC,
Yep.
but mixed in with like an animal instinct,
Yeah.
which seemed quite a bit safer. But can you go that way in Ring of Honor, or will you go for the nostalgia?
And go for the big drop kicks, the big moves, which Ring of Honor will want.
Yeah.
Which will most likely.
He's got to look at, do I want to wake up and spend the days with my family? If yes, I'm probably better off staying retired. But there's no reason why he can't take a couple of bumps just to keep in ring shape. This is Vince McMahon. This is the man that put Bret Hart against the Nexus when Bret Hart had had a stroke.
Yes.
But this is also the same man that gets bumped at 73, 74.
And taking headbutts.
Yeah, so do you want to others what you'd want done to yourself?
The thing is, Vince actually has one little thing with certain entrances. Anything with harnesses, or anything that's coming down, or anything special, he actually tests it himself.
Yes.
For safety. Just to make sure it works.
But no.
He would, in other words, that's, lead by example. He wants to make sure it works. He wants to sort of indicate, I will not put you through anything that you're not willing to do yourself. That I'm not willing to do myself.
Yeah, so back to the Caitlyn. Where'd you put her?
Not on Raw.
SmackDown?
No.
Or NXT?
NXT.
Enhancement, or did you give her a run in NXT?
I wouldn't give her a run. Not straight away.
No.
Because to be gone for 4... As much as she was a name and whatnot, yes, being gone from the business for so long. Now, whenever you think of women's wrestling, what names majorly come to mind?
When I think of it,
yes.
In the last how many years?
Yeah.
How many?
5.
If we go back the last 5 years, the Ballas, Beth Phoenix, Natalya,
Keep going.
Michelle McCool,
Yep.
Layla,
Yep.
Eve Torres.
Yep. Anybody else? Straight away there, who's missing off that list?
Caitlyn.
Caitlyn. Why?
Apart from a one title run,
Yeah.
what else did she do apart from get a boob out on television?
And possibly do a spear on AJ.
Yeah.
Anything else?
Not really.
Not really. The thing is, she wasn't that massively memorable, and having that much of a gap means straight away she's going to be either. I'm not saying she should be jobbers as in like jobbing out to everybody. She could be like helping.
Is she going to be able to keep up with people like Natalya, Sasha, Alexa, Bayley, and Charlotte, and Becky?
Not just that. Just look on the NXT roster.
But she could spend a lot more time with the NXT roster.
Exactly.
In the Performance Centre to get used to it. When you're out on the road, it's a lot harder.
Exactly, and if I'm not mistaken, she left because of the hard travel days and whatnot, where the NXT will sort of possibly be a good way in. If I'm not mistaken, then isn't that the same route that Mickie James took?
Mickie James did a one-off match in NXT and then
Even
came back
so. Even so, she still went to where?
NXT. But she only went NXT because Stratus was pregnant.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Because that was supposed to be Asuka versus Trish Stratus.
Yeah, which would have been a fantastic match, I think.
Don't think it would have been as good as the Mickie James match.
To make it so weird, I can't disagree with you on that one.
Mickie James didn't have any ring rust.
That's what I'm saying to you. I can't disagree with you. And do you know why she hasn't got any ring rust?
Because she's just carried on.
She's just carried on. She's kept going. She kept going. A lot of people have been assuming that she hasn't. That she's just been doing it, focusing on the music. No, she hasn't. She's actually been working hard. She's been TNA. She's been working the independent scene. She's been very, very busy. She kept things up. She kept herself fresh, prepared, and kept the ring rust off. So when she was in the ring against Asuka, she looked natural.
Yeah.
Which is, what more can you ask for?
Well, there isn't much more you can ask for.
And fantastic worker.
Yeah, really good. So, now that that's out of the way.
Yep.
What's been announced is that the women's NXT title.
Yep.
Will be contested.
Yes.
Who do you think will be the champion come the next takeover? I've got a feeling they'll go for the same audience. They want that sort of Asian appeal, that Asian market appeal.
I am going to put a big prediction out right now. I think a certain person who just recently won the Mae Young.
Yeah.
Yeah. She'll win it. Is it Kairi Sane?
Yeah.
She'll win it. And I think she will. Because she is talented. A lot of people are saying, oh, she's not as good as Asuka. Give it time.
It's a different style.
Yeah, exactly. And how many people have got an elbow drop that's almost like its own entity? Other than Macho? What would you say? How many have got that?
Not many at all.
Not many. And here's the thing. A lot of people can say, well, it's just an elbow drop. You watch that elbow drop. Tell me, if that hit you, full on, are you getting up? Is your heart more likely to pass out?
Probably.
More likely.
So, where would you like to go next?
I would like to go still on NXT.
Okay.
What's your view on the Undisputed? Or, as some keep calling it, the Undisputed Era? Which is Adam Cole, baby! And Red Dragon. Which is Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly.
I don't watch too much NXT until it comes to takeovers, and then I binge watch back because I prefer to watch them 2-3 weeks at a time, because only an hour long an episode.
Huh?
I can binge watch them.
Yeah.
So I can't really comment on.
Right. Now, what do you think of that group?
From the point of view of, have we seen what it's CM Punk syndrome. What they're doing now is what they've done in Ring of Honor. The WWE just open. We haven't seen it.
Whoops. However, you know they've seen it when, as soon as he walks out, you've got the crowd going, Adam Cole, baby!
Yeah, but CM Punk did it with the Summer of Punk.
Yes.
Because when he was the Ring of Honor champion, he walked away from Ring of Honor as the champion and defended it at some other promotions.
Yes,
and then came back.
Yes,
which was for the Summer of Punk.
Yes, and it took one WWE wrestler to convince him to defend it. This is Mick Foley.
Yeah. Whereas, so that's just where WWE reused the storyline that we hadn't seen in WWE before, but had been seen on the independents. And I think that's what they're going to do with the Adam Cole Red Dragon.
Yeah, and they seem to be getting off at a good start with a nice feud already against Sanity. Now, at this moment of time, and this will lead into SmackDown as well, I'm assuming that some tag teams are going to need to come up soon.
Yes.
Because they are dying for tag teams at this moment in time. Do you agree?
Yeah. Well, you can't argue with it. We said this last time. Yeah. They need tag teams on SmackDown. Because after this pay-per-view, New Day and the Usos need a break from each other.
They need a break, and they need something up. And if I'm not mistaken, one or two things are either going to be happening with the Hype Bros. One, either they both turn heel, or two, somebody's turning bad.
I'd like to see them both turn. I'd like to see what they can do as
villains.
Yes.
It'd be an interesting switch. Very interesting.
Are they going to get cheered as heels? Because that seems to be the modern way.
The funny thing about this, do you know who made the exact same comment? Stone Cold Steve Austin. In this era, you've got people like Cena who bust their asses off day in, day out, doing everything that they can for the business, and getting booed. Could that be jealousy? Potentially. That's what he was saying and whatnot. But, they've still got the fans.
WWE have oversaturated the market.
Yeah. It's like with Roman Reigns straight away. But hear me out. This is Stone Cold Stevie. He says Roman would be more popular if he wasn't forced down our throats.
They oversaturate the market. So you imagine, now we've got the network.
Mm-hmm.
You have 3 hours of Raw,
Yep.
2 hours of SmackDown,
Yep.
1 hour of NXT, 1 hour of Superstars, 1 hour of Shotgun fucking Thursday night, or whatever they want to call it, whatever the other branch on show is. Then you have this week in WWE, main event, 8-9 hours where you've got Roman Reigns being shoved, or the next person being shoved. They've oversaturated the market with shit.
Yeah.
The network was supposed to be there to establish, and they need to figure a way out of putting different content on where you can still find out who people are. Because the problem is, at the moment, the characters aren't relatable. But you've got a network there that's on 24 hours a day.
Yeah.
Why can't you find things to make some of the faces relatable? Why don't you go and do like a copy of Cribs where you go around the faces?
Yeah.
Make your faces relatable. Your heels can become hateable by doing something then on the shows.
Yeah.
It's simple.
It's like what you just said, like, make them relatable, make them super, humanise.
Yeah. So Heath Slater does this game night, and I
love it.
Heath Slater. But it's because he's relatable, and you can see
he's got kids.
He's got a personality as well, and that's some of them feel robotic when they're faces.
Yeah,
and
where
there's nothing there going, oh, I like this. Whereas Heath Slater, what he is in the ring is what he portrays on game night as well.
Yeah, and you know what made me laugh? The one episode where Braun Strowman was on it.
Braun Strowman stayed in character for that whole episode.
You know what I thought was genius about him? How he literally just went, first one 1 point, third one 2 points, that one is 3 points. Just moves the entire trays all the way to the back and starts throwing bombs.
But no, it's interesting. What I think's missing over here in the UK, I usually say it, is a Braun Strowman. We need a character like Braun Strowman in the UK. The UK is one of the only markets that isn't actually oversaturated by wrestling products. Yes, you can go WWE's on Sky about 32 out of 34 hours a day.
Yep.
But if you haven't got Sky, where'd you go for your wrestling apart from Challenge?
Which is GFW.
Yeah. So.
And sometimes the weekly British roundup.
Yeah, but we need characters that are relatable. A Braun Strowman over here would get World of Sport back on tally.
What makes me laugh with the whole Braun Strowman thing, he is meant to be despised, villainized, yet the crowd are
getting behind him because he's got a highlight reel. He does something big every week. It's like Steve Austin coming out on the Zamboni truck.
Yeah.
Like, they're the moments that are relatable. People don't go, oh, do you remember the match when such and such pinned such and such? In 5 years, people won't know who pinned who. However, you still know in 1997, Steve Austin came down to the ring on a Zamboni truck and gave Vince McMahon a beer bath.
Pretty much.
You know, in 1998, Undertaker was the Prince of Darkness and sacrificed half the roster.
Pretty much.
What happened at the St. Valentine's Day Massacre?
Oh, would that be the steel cage match?
Yes.
Where I believe, as you would know now, Paul White popped out the ring.
Vengeance 2000.
You really test my knowledge here, aren't you? Vengeance 2000.
6-man Hell in a Cell.
Oh yeah, 6-man Hell in a Cell, where, if I'm not mistaken, Undertaker decided to make Rikishi famous.
Yes. But what happened on the rest of that card? Because I don't fucking know.
I know who won.
I
just can't remember who he pinned.
Yeah.
Off the top of my head. Kurt Angle won.
Yeah.
Who did he pin?
The Rock.
Was it The Rock?
But who else was on that card that night?
The
in
Rock.
any other match? No, not the Hell in a Cell. Any other match? You don't know. What happened in 2001 at Survivor Series? That was a 10-man tag, which decided the...
Oh, you mean the thingy, the alliance?
Yeah. So what I'm saying is, people remember moments over the card. And if you give people moments, they'll remember them, but they're only going to remember them by content.
Speaking of moments, a wrestler recently brought up some news about a moment that was created this year, I think.
Go on then.
Chris Jericho.
Yeah.
Can you remember the whole was it celebration?
Festival of Friendship.
Festival of Friendship? That almost turned into Jericho turning up, Kevin Owens turning up, Kevin Owens beating on him. And then just throwing him into the TV.
Right.
Would that have...
Shawn Michaels 2006.
Yeah. However, how special did the Festival of Friendship look?
Yeah, and in 5 years' time, people will still talk about the Festival of Friendship.
And do you know what? Chris Jericho got into an argument with somebody in the back. Triple H about it. He's saying, I don't want him just to attack me. He wanted the big reveal.
Yeah.
The whole... He's bought me a present. You know, everybody else can see the KO. And then he goes, why's my name on the list? You know, he wanted that moment where he can just go, everybody sees it before I do. And then as soon as they see it, it's like, oh, shit.
No. However, I think that is a really good place to end.
Yeah. I know we normally have plenty to talk about other shows that we've attended and whatnot. This one's been a bit of a different episode because we've had quite a few topics to talk about. One of them, the one thing I will say though, do you know what was so funny about that? Do you know why he still had him throw him into the TV?
Go on.
Homage to that moment what you just mentioned.
Yeah.
Homage. And another moment that, and this is, he actually told the commentators off for, Mitch, the plant. The funny thing about that, and there is an in-joke into it, I'll get to the in-joke. Jericho was annoyed that they were playing off, you killed Mitch R.I.P., putting on a new, eulogy on the website saying, R.I.P. Mitch. And Chris Jericho's in the back going, take that down! This is meant to be serious! You're taking away from me, dude! Proper kicking off. Right, now with that, eventually they took it serious. Are you ready for the nice little surprise?
Go.
That plant pot?
Yeah.
Who was it? Who did it belong to?
I don't know. Vince.
Dean Ambrose.
Right.
Got it as a present for Chris Jericho. It's Chris Jericho's plant. Would you like to know how Dean acquired it?
How?
Running around the venue and finding it in somewhere in the venue. Basically, he stole it. The irony of it is, Dean Ambrose had brought in a plant pot, bought Mitch for Chris Jericho. And the first thing that Chris Jericho goes is, I'll be bashing that over someone's head. Now, supposedly, originally, it was meant to be Roman Reigns. Now, unfortunately, due to certain things, it changed. And also, he goes to Dean Ambrose. He just goes, the irony. He is going to be smashing the plant pot that Dean Ambrose stole for him over his head.
But no, I think that's a good place to end. So
It is.
you can find the usual content that we like to advertise, which is Team 4-Star.
Which they just recently had an update sent out about content and whatnot.
You can also have a look at Matthew from Botchamania, who we even gave a plug to last week when we were doing commentary.
What? I have no idea what you're on about.
Well, neither do I, but if a certain UKWA can get their coverage out, we might be able to get to 150. Oh, no, it's not you, Ben Framed. But, no, if you're...
But either way. Send it to Matthew. Send it to Matthew.
So, the UKWA, UKWFZ.
Yep.
And you like your little rock band mention, so go ahead.
Which is The New Breed. I always recommend them as always. They've been playing absolutely brilliant lately, getting more... doing bigger shows each week, or each time, every time they're on the stage. If I'm not mistaken, I even had one colleague who actually went to that show. They actually said, absolutely fantastic, recommend anybody to go to see them.
Not a problem. So, other than that, folks,
There's one more shout out that we need to do, and it's a bit of a health and safety one.
which is changes for health and minds.
Yeah, we always recommend that. As if you think there's certain, if check out the website. If there's anything of interest that you knowledge that you find on there for Healthy Minds or anything for yourself, or even if it's for anybody else, we do actually hope it actually comes in hand and helps either yourself or anyone that you are looking at the information for.
No worries. But other than that, folks, watch out for content that's coming your way over the next couple of months. We've got some ideas that we're going to be trialling, so there'll be a few pilot episodes of different things coming up.
In other words, I'll most likely be the kamikaze test pilot. But thank you.
Other than that, folks, stay safe.
Whoa! We've got to do two more shout outs yet. Well, actually, one shout out because we just recently did an interview recently, if I'm not mistaken. That was released yesterday.
Yeah.
Which is with the unsigned hype Harlan Bravado, who is, if I'm not mistaken, a former ROH star, former Pro Wrestling Noah, Shakira Pro, basically international superstar. So give that a check out. We do recommend you, and as always, we'll hopefully see you next week. As always, we always recommend you check out your local wrestling. So with that in mind, we hopefully to see you either at the next review, the next interview, or the next broadcast. So till then, stay safe.
Bye, folks.